Hi, it's Sandra here from Create in Spain. Today's video is going to be a relatively short one. I wanted to first of all show you a card that I made today, and the reason I wanted to show you this one is because I wanted to point out that if you make certain elements in advance, it can come in really handy. The reason I say that is that I have, and I don't know how clearly you can see it on camera, I have this background here, and this is one of a whole batch of backgrounds that I made using the marbling technique I did a video on a little while ago. In fact, if I just open a drawer here, I can pull out a whole sample of swatches of different backgrounds that I made. It's quite addictive and it was very easy to do. And I will try and find the link to the video and put the link down below if anyone's interested in that, if you missed it. The thing is with that kind of thing is that you really do want to do quite a few of them in one go, and then you've just got them to put onto a project whenever you need it. But it's the sort of thing that you don't want to do one at a time because it involves making a certain amount of effort and mess and so on and so forth. So once you start doing it, you really want to make a few and keep them. But they come in quite handy for doing nice backgrounds for what I would class as a pretty simple card. Now, background is a nice sort of rosy pinky colour. As it happens, this isn't the same card that is. It matches it pretty well, quite surprising, but it's not the same one. But I just thought it would be a change to have a sentiment on something other than black or white. We do tend to put our sentiments on those two colours, and I thought it would be nice not to. And it says, "Have a blooming great day." Yes, I know it's a bit of a pun, but that was intentional. Now these are done by embossing, white embossing, onto tracing paper, just normal cheapy tracing paper. I was looking for my vellum and I couldn't find any plain colourless vellum. I had coloured ones but not the colourless. And I thought, well, hang on, it's pretty similar to tracing paper, perhaps I can use that. And I found that I could. And so I used my Versamark and a stamp that I made today of some flowers. And I just stamped the image on the tracing paper, embossed it with white embossing powder. And then, because as it happens I was sort of just playing around with the image, I fussy cut them out afterwards. There was only 3 and it only took a couple of minutes to do. Although that is something I don't normally ever do, but I thought I might as well today. And I just sort of played around, chose a few of the backgrounds and looked at the way that the flowers looked on them. And that was it. Now the colouring I did with alcohol markers. I don't have Copics, but I have a cheap sort of knockoff alternative, and they're fine. And it actually blends really, really nicely on tracing paper. So that was so easy to do. And the sentiment I wrote by hand, and I used Wow embossing powder. This particular one is metallic platinum. It's a fine grade. And I've got a nice big jar of it, as you can see. But I love this because it's not so garish as pure silver. It's a bit more subtle. And you can get away with using it on backgrounds that have golds in them and backgrounds that have sort of silvery white colours as well. So I really do like that one. And that is about it for that card. I did contemplate putting on some sequins, and I saw scattered some around. I thought, no, actually, it looks better without. Sometimes less is more. Right, the other thing that I wanted to show you is this thing. It's an electric eraser. I will stress I'm not sponsored by anybody for this. I don't get anything off of Wow, and I don't get anything off of Derwent either. I got this a little while ago because I had seen them used, and I thought, could be interesting. I mean, in the past I thought to myself, gosh, an electric eraser, how lazy can you get? But it does have particular usage, if you want to do some very fine erasing in one particular spot. It's really handy. And what I used it for on this card, in order to write my sentiment in a straight line, I did actually make a pencil line on here. So I had the pencil line, I wrote my script with a glue pen, a Sakura glue pen as it happens, because they're really nice and fine. And then I embossed it, made sure the embossing was cooled down and not going to go anywhere. And then I just used this to rub things out where they showed. And if I put it down on here, see, it's very gentle, but it's very good at getting into very small places. So you can be very specific on which bit you want to rub out. And it comes in a packet, it's not very expensive, and you get something like 10 refills for it, 10 or 20 refills in the pack. So yeah, I just find that quite handy. And that is it. That is my inspiration card for today. I hope you like it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.